Hi everyone, I'm going to be doing a top 20 bands, and so, fair warning, some of these are heavy metal and stuff related to that, I guess. So yeah, be sure to check out some of these bands if you really like them, and also comment below some of your favorite bands. I'd love to hear them. So yeah, let's get started. Number 20 is They Art Is Murder. They're a new band, so unfortunately they're at the bottom, but I really am liking them, so they made it on my list. Number 19 is Stray from the Path. They're also like number 20. They're really cool. They do a lot of screaming also, so I really like that. Number 18 is Cattle Decapitation. Name sounds a little weird, but bear with me. They're really cool. Also like the other two bands I mentioned. Number 17 is Soulfly. I'm just getting into them, and I like some of their songs, so that's a big plus for me. Because when I first start out on some of the songs, I'm kind of like, and then, you get used to them a lot more. Number 16 is Misfits. I really like them. Two of my favorite songs are Psycho, or American Psycho, and Scream, which I know they're probably more of the popular ones, but I still like them. Number 15 is Whitechapel. They are a screamo band, basically. They're really cool. I definitely have to say, check out one of their songs. It's called Our Endless War. It's a really nice song. Number 14 is Marilyn Manson. He is definitely up there on my list, which is good because he has a few good songs. Some of my favorite are Tainted Love, The Nobodies, This Is the New Shit, and that's basically it, I guess. There are some other ones, but I can't exactly remember. Number 13 is, bear with me, I'm not able to pronounce this correctly, so it's Myocardial Infarction. I don't know. It's a really cool band. I'll put it down in the description. Maybe you could actually pronounce it better than I can. So, again, there's a lot of screaming, and I think there's a few songs with actual singing in them. I mean, screaming is singing, but, But aside for that, they're really cool. Number 12 is Miss May I. They're an awesome band. I really like the fact that they have a combination of everything, and also they're having an album out, so that's a big plus. Number 11 is Five Finger Death Punch. Some of my favorite songs by them are Remember Everything, Bad Company, Wrong Side of Heaven, Lift Me Up, and that's all I can really think of. So yeah, they're definitely really awesome. Number 10 is Slipknot. I am in love with this band now. They've gone for the bottom to basically the middle of my list. So there are a lot of really cool guys. Number 9 is Disturbed, which I was kind of iffy about them in the beginning, but then I started doing a little more song research, I call it, which is basically going out and listening to almost all their songs they came out with, and I really started to like them, so they're definitely up there. Number 8 is Bless the Fall. They are also a really cool band. I really like them as well. Number 6 is Job for a Cowboy. I know the name's a little, but they are cool. Again, a lot of screaming too. Number 5 is Of Mice and Men. They're awesome. I love everybody in the band, and especially Austin, because, he's a really nice guy, so I just have a lot of respect for him. And number 4 is Bring Me the Horizon. I love the entire everything they came out with. They are just an amazing band. I love them. If somebody doesn't want to listen to a lot of screaming or something, I tell them to go listen to them. And they're a lot of fun. So, number 3 is Motionless in White. I We're kind of going between Bring Me the Horizon and Motionless in White, and this list was kind of hard for me from picking the 3 or whatever, because I love both bands a lot, and like, I mean a lot. So Motionless in White is pretty awesome. I love their Reincarnate album, also their Infamous one, and Creatures, I believe. Number 2 is Asking Alexandria. I was really upset when Danny left, but I completely understand that, you know, they have other musical interest. Not talk today that much. And, you know, I totally get that, and you know what? As long as they're happy, they still make good music, and they're still awesome guys, so that's all that matters to me. And they make other people happy, of course. And then number 1, of course, if you've watched my first video, Black Veil Brides. I cannot, like, express how much I love them. It is extremely hard for me. I actually got to meet them last year in November. We drove over 2.5 hours to go see them, and it was worth every annoying moment I had around them. My friends, not the band. It was actually a birthday gift. My birthday's in September, so it was a late birthday gift, but you know. I had been begging both my parents, well, my mom and dad are divorced. Are divorced, so I asked my dad and I asked my mom. My dad is totally against the band and me, basically. So it was a little hard, and he's like, yeah. So I was like, whatever. And my mom and stepdad don't have a lot of money, so I was kind of iffy about asking them. But they actually came up and surprised me, and I was sitting outside one day. My stepdad goes, guess what, you're going to go see Black Veil Brides? And I nearly fall out of my chair and crack my skull open. But anyway, so yeah, I was really excited about that. And you know, I was looking at the VIP and I was just like, you know what, I'm not even gonna bother, because you know what, all I really wanted to do was go see the band live. That just alone meant the world to me. And then, like, I think it was my birthday, they're like, oh, you're gonna go meet them too. And I'm just like, holy shit. It was the best moment of my life, other than meeting them and going to the concert. So, fast forward to November. I did do a video, but I didn't talk in it, so I'm just gonna update everybody. Getting there, one thing is, with the VIP is, you have to be on time, otherwise you're screwed. They will not let you in or anything. And, you know, I can really get that. So, we were on time, we're sitting there waiting, and of course, it's in November in Pennsylvania. I live in New York, but we drove down to Pennsylvania. And it is cold. Really cold. And so, oh, excuse me. And so, I'm wearing a tank top with a leather vest on top of it. Thank God I brought a hoodie. I usually wear it to work, but I brought it anyway. And so, I'm sitting there, and I keep getting colder and colder. And of course, I'm wearing combat boots, and they're not exactly the most warm shoes I should have worn, but I wasn't going to wear sneakers because my sneakers were just flat. And so, I'm sitting here, and my toes go numb. Completely numb. So, finally, after, like, I think an hour or so plus of waiting, we finally get let in. And you have to wait for another, I think we waited for another, like, half an hour, maybe almost an hour. And by then, I still could barely feel my toes. Which I didn't really mind because, I don't know. I'm just a very cold person as it is. Like, I can't keep myself warm on my own. So, it's very hard for me to stay warm. And so, I like the cold a lot, but also, I can't handle it like I used to. Like, I used to be able to go out in the middle of winter, and I'm talking, like, really bad winter, in almost like a t-shirt, pair of jeans, and a pair of shorts. Even though I don't really wear shorts anymore. But, you know. And so, we get in, I'm sitting here and I'm still warming up, and so I put on my hoodie, and of course now I'm wearing 2 extra layers other than my shirt, so I look like, plus the hoodie is like 4 sizes too big because it's a men's size, and my dad gave it to me because I really liked it. So he gave it to me, and I was like, this is huge on me. I'm like, whatever. So my mom took me out of this, so he wasn't there. So I'm sitting there, and it's just like, I look huge. Absolutely, like, 5 times what I really do look like. And I was just like, I don't really care right now because I'm warm. Well, I'm getting warm. And I'd rather be warm. So we get in line, we listen to the rules, basically. You know, no holding up the line, no, like, touching their asses. The guy was really cool there. So, and there were a few other ones. I can't exactly remember vaguely, so. And so we get in line, and we're sitting here, and we're like, da-da-da-da-da. And so I give my mom my phone to take pictures. And so, because, you know, if you're under 18, you have to have your legal guardian there, or someone that's your legal guardian, your parent, or whatever. I'm like, okay. And so, she's sitting in the middle, and one thing you should never do to my mom is give her a camera. Especially a smartphone camera. It is the worst mistake I ever made. She had pictures of her fingers in the freaking frame. But I will give it to my mom. She didn't take half bad pictures. They were a little blurry sometimes, or, you know, whatever. But I didn't really mind. As long as I got pictures, I was happy. And at least I got moments and everything engraved in my brain for the rest of my life. So it goes, here's how they're set up. It goes Cece, Jinx, Jake, Ashley, Andy. And so I go to Cece, and he's like, hi, how are you? And at this moment, I'm shaking really, really bad. Like, I'm like this. And so he's like, you know, it's okay. And I'm like, no, I'm fine. And so, you know, my friend asked me, she's like, can you shake their hand for me? And I'm like, yeah, sure, whatever. Oh my gosh. I'm like, I promised my friend I'd shake your hand, and I'm like, slowly like, I don't know, I'm so nervous. And so he shakes my hand, and he's like so happy, and I'm just like, I'm so nervous. And so then I move on, and you know, I do the same thing with Jinx, and I brought, you could bring up to 2 things to be signed. And so I only brought 1 thing, so I brought my AP magazine, which in that issue, it was Andy, and then the rest, the 4, had their own pictures, so I just had everybody sign their own picture, which I thought that was cool. I still have the magazine. And so, you know, everybody signing their picture, moving down, moving, and you know, we get to the end. And I go to shake Andy's hand, and note this. I love everybody in the band and everything. I can barely pick my favorites, which are Ashley, Andy, and Cece. Cece's really cool, so it makes me laugh. But I love the other guys too, don't get me wrong. It's just, you know, who doesn't have a favorite in everything? Like in sports. Who doesn't have a favorite? I mean, bands, whatever. So, you know, I get there, and of course, I'm still shaking, like really, really bad, and I don't know why, because at this point, you know, they're like talking to me, and it's really nice because they want to engage you in a conversation and make it, you know, like they're your best friend, basically. And so I'm really, really shaking, and I'm like, and my breathing's starting to pick up, and I'm just like, shut up, just shut up, Morgan. And so I get to him, and I'm like, I promised my friend I'd shake your hand. I shake all you guys' hand, actually, because I didn't want anybody to feel left out. I have this really, like, I'm really weird, so I didn't want anybody to feel left out by saying your hand. I'm extremely weird. And so I'm like, this. And I guess he, like, saw that I was a little hesitant, and so he put his hand up more, so I'm like, okay, I'll shake your hand. And so then you have to go back around and get back in line for the photo. You don't just get the photo there. I'm like, okay, whatever. And so we're sitting here, and then you have to give the guy your phone, and he takes your picture and everything. I'm like, okay, that's really cool, because I don't want my mom taking a picture. She's like horrible. It's awful. And so we're sitting there, and I'm just, casually waiting for it. And I get up to them, and of course it goes from left to right. It goes Jake, Ashley, it'd be me, Andy, Jinx, and Stacy, I believe. If not, switch Jinx and Jake. Jinx and Jake. So put it that way. And so I'm standing there, and I go to turn around, and Andy like grabs onto me, and he's like, "Oops!" I'm like, suffocating. Fair warning, I don't like hugs, so I'm very like, it was a one-armed hug, but I'm very sensitive to hugs. I don't like people touching me. Urgh. So, he's hugging me, and of course, when you're standing there, the ground is like this. It's concrete, so it's like that. Not at that angle, but it's really bad. And so I have Andy like clinging onto me, I feel like. And then I have Ashley leaning on me. Oh my gosh. I'm not claustrophobic, but I felt like it. And so he's kicking grit at I'm like, I can't breathe. That's how hard he was hugging me. I could not breathe. And so, I go to, photos taken, go to walk around. He's like, thank you for coming. I'm like, no problem. And so then we go down, and then we have to get, the VIPs get the first chance to go in. And so, we were really happy. And it was my first concert. And so we were running down to go get our places down in the front. So we're like 5 feet from the stage, basically. And I'm like, okay, this is really, really cool. We get to be up front and everything. And so we're watching, and everybody's grabbing onto the barricade. And I'm like, Mom, maybe we should do it. She's like, yeah, we'll be fine. I should have listened to my gut. It was the worst mistake not holding onto the barricade, because we were right by the mosh pit. And so every time people would be turning and everything else, we go with them. And we slowly get sucked into the middle. And so we had to like scooch back over. And of course you had people from the back trying to get to the front. And it was like really, really bad. And so every once in a while, people would come up front. And we had the front people, they were telling them to go back. And yeah. It was crazy, but it was awesome. Would I do it again? Hell yeah. Would I go down in the pit? Yeah. Don't get yourself into something you don't think you can handle. So, here's how, to give you an idea before I go and tell you, the stage was, it had the stage here, and then it had, where you could stand here, because it was general admission. And then you had, like, columns, but they had, like, little seating areas. Not really seating areas, you had to stand, but they were really cool. One on each story. And so we're like, that's really cool. We should have done that. They didn't have to worry about getting crushed. I actually got whacked in the head 3 times. It was horrible. I felt like I was going to get a concussion. And then, of course, you get, like, banged up. And, I knew it was a rock concert. Seriously, dude. I knew it was a rock concert and everything. So I was prepared to get banged up and everything else. I was just like, okay, we're good. I'm fine. And I was really worried about my mom. So I was, like, kicking into overprotective gear, but still trying to have some fun. Because my mom has sciatica. And people were, like, doing... It felt like the wave because it comes from the back, and then people push you up front. It was really fun. So yeah, and it was just like, we should have gone in the barriers. And so one thing is, it's like all the other bands, I saw Drama Club, Set It Off, and Falling in Reverse, and then finished by Black Veil Brides. And so, it's basically like none of the other bands came up to anybody that was over on the sides. But when Black Veil Brides came on, Andy got up on the speakers, climbed over the wall, and into the little area with them. And it was so cool because like barely any of the other bands acknowledged them. So, you know, I kind of felt a little blah about that. But, you know, you still got a great seat and everything. And so, you know, I was really happy about that. I just felt like, wow. At the end, I thought it was a dream. And so, one thing I learned is, when people scream, you scream. Because otherwise, you will go deaf. And I mean it. Really, really deaf. And so, when we were done with the concert, I'm sitting here trying to talk. And of course, my ears are like all messed up from the concert. And it sounds like I'm a chipmunk. Like Alvin and the Chipmunks or something. That's what I sounded like. It was horrible. And so, I didn't know, I was either talking too low or talking too loud. I couldn't just hit the middle. It took 3 days for my ears to go back to normal. 3 days. It was horrible. During the time of that, I couldn't really listen to music because it all sounded like chipmunks. Like Alvin and the Chipmunks. I'm not kidding you. It's horrible. And so, yes, that is my amazing story of meeting and going to see Black Veil Brides. They were amazing. Worth every dollar. If you haven't seen them live or haven't gotten to meet them or anything, get your chance to. It is totally worth it. Even though, yeah, it's more money, but it's something that is going to be engraved in your brain for the rest of your life. Like, I'm not joking. They are just awesome. And the thing is, you got to meet so many other people like you, in which that was really cool because for me, it's really, because I live in like the middle of nowhere. I'm not joking. People think that New York is like the city. I don't live in the city. I live in the sticks. And I'm not joking. So, it was like, it's really hard for me to find friends up here. Especially when, you know, there's one other person here. That's a teenager. And that's my age. And she lives next door. And we don't talk anymore. That's my life. And, yeah. So, it's really hard. And then either if someone's into the bands I like, they're adults. I don't mind hanging out with adults. But still. It sucks. And, you know, for my hair and everything else, and they're just like, you're weird. And I'm just like, okay. I don't really care. I honestly don't. Don't let people judge you. That's one thing. It's not fun. It takes over your life. Blah, blah, blah. So yeah, I hope everybody liked this video. Please leave a comment of your favorite bands, or if you have met Black Veil Brides, please, please, please let me know what your experience was. I told you my crazy experience, I want to hear yours. Was there anything odd that you realized in the photos or anything? I got a few, but I won't mention them because I could just be going crazy. So yeah, please let me know. Bye.